During the I-130 process, when do you have to send your tax forms? Trying to start now, but need to amend. So if you're only filing the I-130 and you're doing consular process because the person is outside the United States, then you don't need the taxes for the I-130. Now, unless you filed your taxes jointly with your spouse and you want to include them as evidence to show that you have a real relationship, you can send it at that time. But they actually don't need the taxes to decide if the sponsor qualifies for the affidavit of support until the second part of the process, which is consular processing, if you're doing your paperwork abroad. Now, if you're doing it inside the United States as a adjustment of status, then the I-130 should have been filed together with the 485, the I-131, the I-765, and the A-64, all of those forms together, right? So at that point is when you should send the taxes, when you file that package, because it's going to be a stack of papers, right? Just the forms is like 85 pages, and you need to include all of that evidence at the same time to avoid getting a request for evidence. Okay, but if you qualify, but you still need to amend one of your taxes, usually the government will ask for more evidence. But that is one thing that might change, as it was for a period of time during the first Trump administration. The government was not sending a request for evidence. They were just flat out denying cases if you didn't send everything at the first go. So we hope that doesn't return, because it's pretty ridiculous if you're just missing one document like a birth certificate or a marriage certificate or something and they just deny the case outright. The government could go back to that, and I hope not. But the idea would be to send a case already ready to go and already approvable. But there are some people who are trying, for example, to file their case before January the 20th, which I'm trying to recommend my clients to do that so that you avoid any changes that Trump's going to roll out to make things more complicated. He's going to probably change all of the form versions. He's going to change the cost. He can change the cost if he wanted to, but he's going to for sure change the versions, maybe bring back the public charge rule and all of that stuff, right? And so I would recommend that you file all the cases you can before January the 20th. And then hopefully the government will still request evidence if you're missing one thing, like amending your taxes. But try to amend the taxes even if you don't have back all of the proof. Send it in the mail and get a copy of what you've sent to do an amendment. My understanding is the amendment have to be sent in the mail or done with the same person who did your taxes the first time.